Doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing good. Good work. It was good to be back on the field. Good Tuesday practice. We got some good work done. Felt like we got better today, so overall pretty good day.
Mark, from a psychological standpoint, did they approach the loss the way you wanted them to? I mean, were they mad? Were they angry?
I believe we handled it the right way. Everybody was disappointed, but I see nobody sulking today. We've moved on. You know, once we graded that film yesterday, came out here and made the corrections, we've moved on. It's about preparing to win the next game. And you've heard me talk about it, they've heard me talk about it. Win or lose, it's on to the next game. You know, so I felt like we're preparing well, and guys had a good day.
Mark, you talked on the radio last night about maybe, or at least toying with the idea of Bud at linebacker. Your thought process there, maybe?
You know, not right now. I mean, you know, Trayvon playing at linebacker, we need Bud at end. He's playing very well, you know, and has the ability to play well and play much better even than he did. And he's a good player and a talented player. You know, we all are looking to get better, like I said.
You've referenced a couple of times that second game at Florida State and sort of changing overnight. What did you change? I mean, what changed for you?
Well, just it's a lot of details, but we've changed very much so philosophically from how I played things and just leverage and things like that. So we changed the style of our defense.
Was that just you getting out there early in your time there and recognizing, matching up the talent you had at the time and the personnel?
Yeah, just what we were trying to do and what I felt like we, you know, some things we were doing just wasn't working, and I just felt like we needed to change philosophically quickly, or it was going to be a long year.
Is that going to happen here too, do you think?
I mean, maybe. I mean, again, I don't have any. I mean, there's so many good defenses out there and good offenses out there. You can't just all of a sudden go up there and reinvent the wheel and come out magically, you know, a national championship team. You could just do the best you can to put your players in a position to play the best they can. So again, that's no big deal because we're always doing that. We're always looking at things that we can do better to put them in a position to win.
Was this a similar situation to that, though, in that maybe you couldn't fully get a gauge on what you were working with until you saw them, you know, live in a game against somebody else?
Yeah, I guess so. But again, I'm not looking to scapegoat our players. You know, us coaches got to do the best job we can to put them in a position to win. So, with that being said, again, you always look to do what you can do to put them in a position to win. And if that means tweaking some things, changing things up, moving personnel, then you do the best you can.
What did Trayvon look like out there? I mean, now that he's working full-time, it sounds like, at that weak side linebacker.
He'll be a good player. I mean, it's not good in that you missed all those reps with all the different pressure, all the different, you know, everything you do. You know, you got to go back to square one with them, you know, and reteach him. So that part of it's not fun. You know, so you got to see as much as he can handle, and you got to keep on moving on with your package, you know, and where you're at game plan.
How's he picking it up so far? And
just the basics, you know, he's good. He's good on his feet. He's good. He can play linebacker. You know, we learned that pretty quick when we tried him in camp, and then we were banged up at end, and so you couldn't just fully move him. You know, you wanted to see what your other linebackers were going to do, and then after the game, again, we just made the decision to move on and play him at linebacker, and so we got to go through the growing pains with that a little bit right now as well.
What's the biggest challenge for a guy playing those two different positions?
Just all the different things that you do and how fast the game moves. You know, every team we play is a little bit different, and all the different motions, then you put in all the pressures, and just things change quick, and that's where you guys saw it. That's where we're slow. You know, that's where our reaction wasn't where it needed to be when things change in games. And you know, we can't rep every single thing, you know, hundreds of times and get the same looks to all the different calls. It's impossible. You have to have a system built in, and they have to understand those things change very quickly. So that's the biggest challenge with that.
How much did it hurt you when Torrey went out in that first game?
It did.
How are you with him right now?
It did hurt. You know, we put Blake in a bad situation, so I'll take that. You know, that's on us. You know, we put Blake in a bad situation. He had to do a lot of things that he wasn't prepared to do.
Is that the reason for the nickelback position you guys added?
Yeah, that's the nickel. But, you know, we need to have a Sam, and that's where, you know, again, I don't want to keep on making excuses. That's where we just didn't have another Sam ready to go, you know.
Are you getting a guy ready this week that other than Blake?
We do. We have to.
Is that
you know, we have to. Yes, we have to play as many, you know, get those guys ready as best they can.
It sounded like you tried Blake at a few different positions during camp.
We
What
did.
about him showed that he was going to contribute somewhere?
Well, it was nice to see a young guy be able to pick up, and I talked about that before. I mean, the poor kid, he played field corner, he played boundary corner, he played both safeties, he played nickel, and he played dime, you know, for a freshman. So, and then he played Sam linebacker. So that wasn't, you know, we need to get, you know, keep on moving on with our package and with the guys, you know, get them better, get everybody we got better.
How has Henderson responded to being demoted?
He's been good. He's been good. Yeah. And you know, he'll play, and we need him to continue to improve, you know, and continue to play.
Have you been able to pick out anything that went
And
well?
I'm not going to put that on him either. You know what I mean? It's not like he's the reason why we didn't play well defensively. There's enough playing to go around for all of us.
Have you been able to pick out anything that went well, kind of end of second quarter into the third quarter, that you've been able to teach on?
There were some things that went well, of course. You know, we did, yes. I think there's some concepts there that we're picking up on and all that. I think, you know, we went over that, but there were just guys trying to do too much. And just we need to be better, you know, with our technique, and we need to be better with our scheme and the whole deal.
Mark, you mentioned Alex Montgomery was sick. He didn't get to play as much as you wanted. You mentioned that maybe you should have got Max Godby in there maybe for some snaps. Are there any other guys that you looked at and thought, well, we didn't use him much the first game, let's give him a shot in the second game?
No, I think for the most part we played most of our guys. Maybe the rotation will be a little bit different, but you know, our starters, you know, wide out, were able to handle probably roughly 75% of the game, maybe 80% of the game. And so, you know, maybe if we can continue to develop and get some guys better, you might get a few more blows there. And the same thing defensively.
You've often said you wanted to find out who you are. Maybe I guess in terms of your personal life, you get closer to that. Is that right now?
Yes, I think we are. I mean, it's a work in progress, as you know, and you know, so that's what we try to do. I mean, we got to see who we are again, and we got to find the right game plan to go out and win. And you know, I'm never gonna shy away from that. I said that from day one. You know, no matter who we're playing, we need to find the right guys with the right scheme to put them in a position to win, and that's what we're always going to try to do.
Did you have to go up against Jameis Winston and scout team last year?
He was the scout team quarterback. Poor guy. He took an earful from me here and there.
Seems like he turned out okay, though.
He doesn't worry about it. He's got one of those attitudes that he just kind of like, he just smiles in a good way. Not like, heck with you, coach. It's like, I enjoy you yelling at me. Yeah, it's good.
Did you get any chance to watch them
I did.
last
I
night?
watched a little bit. Watched a few series, and a couple series I saw, they looked very good, just like I expect. So.
Thanks, Mark.
Okay.